Hey, everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's TLC Monday. You guys, it's different this week. Remember how I told you it's going to be different this week? We're going to do 90 Day on Monday. We're going to do The Virgins with Keisha on Tuesday. Everything's different. And you know what else is different? Kimberly's not here, but I have Katie.
Second place runner-up. I'll take it.
Never. Just like Matt and Amani and Ani, we are in a throuple.
That's true.
Everyone's equal.
Have you picked who you are?
Let me tell you who I'm not.
Yeah, I would like to rule out. I would like to say not it to one of them. It starts with an A. Does that help?
Definitely not Amani because she's just hardcore and I'm scared of her.
Oh my gosh.
A lot. And then, there's been all sorts of things about like, hi, I was their nanny. They are horrible people. There's been a lot of that. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta know. Okay.
It's
Okay.
true. When you go on the Reddit, sometimes just like with me with TikTok, you never come out. You're 12 hours later and you're like, what is food? What is life? I'm in TikTok and I can't get out. Sometimes that happens with Reddit as well.
No, it does. It absolutely does. I can't go down any. I've been down a few rabbit holes and it's bad, but I haven't gone down 90 Day and now I'm going to. So thanks for that. That's
Yeah,
good.
you're welcome. Kimberly's very good at it. She'll say, well, Reddit told me this.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys are watching on video, I want to tell you that I'm again at the beach and my lighting is terrible because it's nighttime. Usually I've got some natural light coming in. Now, here's what's happening. Katie and I are recording at night and I've been to a wine bar. So we'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens.
That's great.
Yeah. I've got bad light and maybe 2 to 3 glasses of wine earlier. So it's fine. Everything's fine. I'm a professional and we're going to make it work.
That's the best place to be. I'm just going with you. I'm going with your vibe. I'm into it. Let's go.
And I do love that there's a throuple on this episode and you and me and Kimberly are a throuple. And I declared it and I don't think you guys were consenting, but it's happened.
I'm pretty sure we consented. I don't think there wasn't any talk behind the scenes of like, do we really? That didn't happen. I think it was just okay, we're in this now.
Okay.
Foregone. So however you proposed it, it was accepted and we just moved through. Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that you guys didn't badmouth me behind my back.
Not a bit. Nope.
Okay, thank you. So 90 Day Fiance, season 11, episode 17. And by the way, when Katie said she would jump in for Kimberly, she had watched none. So she caught up on 17 episodes, and I'm going to give it 2.5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I too caught up? Maybe. I'm really involved in these people's lives. I've been invested in the weddings. And now I have to see it through to the end. Now I need to continue. I need to see what happens in the tell-all. I have a lot of questions for these people. I don't think you're gonna have any answers, but you might.
I might. I've been with them longer. I've been with them for many, many weeks, and you've been with them for 2.5 days.
True, it's true.
So, yeah, okay. So we will open with Stevi and Mahdi. So Stevi, I interviewed for Pink Shade because she's from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and I know of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. My sister was born there. I know of it, and I asked. I don't know what other interviews she's done, but constantly when people reach out to her and DM her about the bisexual thing, she'll say, "Hey, listen to Pink Shade. I talked about it there," which was great. She didn't say, whatever answer she said this week. She was just saying her reasoning for being so vague about it was she just feels pretty strongly that people shouldn't have to define themselves or it's a rude question. And even if the person you're going to marry, she goes, I just feel like it's kind of a rude question. I don't have to answer it in the end. And she's right about that. Yeah. But she goes, but maybe like she says on this episode, maybe my obstinance took it too far because she didn't realize how important it was to him or how upsetting it was to him. And she wasn't taking into account his culture, whereas like a normal Mississippi guy, she'd be like, suck it up and deal with it. You don't have to know. But like this guy, it's a different thing. Yeah.
And her obstinance made it seem like she was hiding it, to be honest.
Right.
I think that her obstinance made it seem like she was purposefully not answering the question because it was an answer he didn't want.
Right. And she wanted to trick him and he felt all along like, I don't want to be tricked. I don't want to be trapped,
Right,
Yeah.
right, and
And I
that's
told I
yeah.
told Kimberly last week that he put up a reel. I think it's a reel and you can go and look at his Instagram, but it was as if you were taking an English test. And it was showing like, two people together holding hands, two people together in the bed, two people and two people together drinking wine. And it would say, you know, a blank and then AY. So it would be like two men holding hands. He'd go, gay. And it would say, stay. And then it was two men holding hands with the sunshine. And he would go, gay. And then it would say, Ray.
Oh,
It
boy.
was hilarious. It would be two men in the bed embracing, and he would go, gay. And then it would say, lay. It was hilarious. And then
Oh,
it came
wow.
up with a picture of Stevie, and he did bay, and it said gay. Yeah. It
Oh,
was
that's funny.
it was very funny. He's very funny on social media. Very
Oh,
funny.
that's good to know. I like that. I
And
like that.
he's he's got the joke, right? So I like that.
Okay.
So we opened with Stevie crying. This is where we were with her last time. And she's
Mm,
like, I'm just tired. I don't understand what's happening. And then we got all these clips of him asking her, like, are you bi? Do you like women? I don't understand the thing with the boobs or whatever. And he says, if she keeps giving these vague answers, I don't even know if I can marry her because she won't answer me clearly, which you can understand his point of view on this.
no.
And she goes, look, these conversations are not normal for me. And when you question my sexuality, I didn't have any idea it bothered you as much as it did until you told Saeed. And then I realized it really bothered you. And I
Mm,
was being defensive about it. And I'm sorry about that because I just didn't like the question. But the answer is no. And I just let you worry about it longer than I should have. Because I think, like what she said to me was, I think it's a rude question. I think everybody should be free to be you and me.
mhm.
And now she's going, you know what? Actually, I was just kind of being an asshole to be an asshole. And I shouldn't have done that because I didn't quite realize it was such a big thing. I thought it was just sort of a joke. I don't know. This conversation was super interesting to me.
Yeah. I
Thoughts?
I totally understand. I this is also where you're gonna get a little bit of a culture clash, right?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
something that, like, is at the topmost of his brain, it's very important. He brought up early in the season feeling catfished, if this was something that was true, like, that she would
Hmm.
have lied to him because she is not who she said she was, which is whatever, a straight female.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's a little much, but it's a lot much, but again, where he lived, where that's not acceptable, it felt much bigger, and for her, it was, I could see where also she just sort of thought he was being rude. Like, that
Yeah.
was
It's
rude, it
just like,
was
who
rude question,
cares?
and also, it feels, like you're would it be why is it such a bad thing if I was? It
Right.
felt like her defending people's right to love who they wanna love and be somewhere on the spectrum, the
Yeah.
rainbow spectrum somewhere.
Yeah.
Uh, that's not the case with her, but yeah, it felt like it felt just like a missing each other on a bunch of I'm glad it finally worked out, to be honest, because this has gone on my whole 2.5 days.
Yeah.
Question.
17 episodes for us. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
for everyone else out there, you must have been losing your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're like, but, her whole point was like, I love you and I'm with you. So that should matter.
Yep,
That's all that should matter. But
that's
his
it.
whole thing is like, I just sort of need to know, for my mind. So
Mhm.
she says, and I appreciate, she said, I let you worry about it longer than I should. And that
Yeah.
was on me. And I'm sorry. And he tears up and says, it made me feel lonely because you're the only person I have here, which was, he's so sweet and gentle and soft spoken,
Mhm.
you know? So in her
Yeah.
talking head, the producer's asking her, she cries, she goes, I feel bad for not seeing his perspective. I do. And I only saw how I was feeling because I was hurt. And I thought, why is he asking this? And that's what, to your point, where she's like, what does it matter?
Mhm.
And she goes, he sacrificed a lot to be here with me, and I need to give him more grace. And the conversation was a wake up call that I need to actually think more about how he's feeling. So she says to him, she says, all I want you to say to me is you're not going to leave me. And he goes, I'm not going to leave you. And she says, I won't always be perfect. you're the person I want, and I'm going to fight for that. And we're both very hard headed, and neither one of us likes to admit fault. And
Yeah.
she goes, I don't like girls or men. I just like you. And he goes, but before, she goes, stop. And
Yeah.
then they're just like, we don't need to talk about before. By the way, she was married twice before. And when I talked to her, she said, I don't know why Maddie tries to act like he's so innocent. I think that her whole point was his culture said one thing, but that
Mhm.
doesn't mean he was following it.
Oh,
Yeah. He has a lot of
okay.
shirtless pictures, and I think he was doing just fine for himself. Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah. Mhm.
Interesting.
She's like, "Don't let him make you think he's so innocent." It wasn't like she took his virginity and she's like the only girl he's ever been around. I don't think it's like that at all. Yeah.
Okay,
But his
because they do
English
like to
is
make it
so
seem
perfect. Yeah.
yeah, they do make it seem like that. Also, um, were you just predisposed to like her 'cause her name is Stevie? I mean,
'Cause of Stevie Nicks.
yeah,
That's who she's named after, is Stevie Nicks.
and that's amazing. Good on
I like
her.
it too. I
Yeah.
like it too when she told her dad, his name is Maddie, and he goes, "Maddie? That's a girl's name." She goes, "Dad, my name is Stevie." He goes, "Well, that's true."
That was wonderful. That was wonderful.
So, a couple of people wrote to me after I interviewed her and said, "The one thing you said you were gonna ask her that you didn't, which I forgot, was, 'What did your dad think you were filming?'" Because she sat down and said to him, "Here's what's actually happening." I've
Yeah.
always wondered that. Like, what did you tell the people you're filming? And she told her dad I DM'd her, and she wrote me back and said,
Oh,
"Oh, I told my dad that we were recording a special about local artists." But then she sat down with him, who has a terminal illness, and was like, "Just kidding. Remember when I went to Turkey? I met my boyfriend who lives in Iran, and now he's coming here, tomorrow. Mm, and we're getting married. Everything's fine. Don't look over here. Everything's fine."
everything's fine, Dad. Don't worry about it. Also, I know you guys have all covered this, but the first night when they stay in New Orleans,
Mhm.
when they have that little New Orleans jaunt, the
Yeah.
first thing, I think that's where one of my honeymoon nights was, in that hotel.
Really? It
I
was a very
recognize
specific hotel, yeah.
I recognize the brick walls and the WC with the clear door. I remember being worried about that the door had the big clear glass pane on it on my honeymoon. I was like, "Oh,
Oh, for
nobody
the bathroom, the water
the
closet.
bathroom for the water closet."
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because 'cause you're like, "I don't wanna this is not very
But
attractive." Is it
and I
because see
showed it
through
to
the
Oliver, and he said, "I think that is it." It was bizarre. Anyways, out of
Wow,
all the
okay.
hotels, there you go. Mhm.
So, she says, "I just I won't be perfect, blah, blah, blah. I don't like men or girls." And they say, "I love you." They go to bed. Okay. Now it's the wedding day and they're
Yeah,
waking up and he, again, "I'll never leave you," whatever.
yeah.
So Saeed, the shit stirrer, messages him and she goes, "Tell Saeed I said hello and I'm not trapping you. And also I like you and not girls." Okay. So
It's funny.
we see her unpacking her dress and she goes, "Here's the thing about this dress. I don't love it." Now we saw the first dress that she put on where he said she looked like an old lady. And then this dress has, like, the illusion on the top, and it just seems to be
Right.
sort of plain and white. She goes, "I don't love it. I don't love it." Now her friends arrive, Kim and Kia, and they have bought another dress that was delivered to her house, and she goes, "This is the dress I like, but I don't actually know if it's gonna fit." So she
Um,
must be like, "I'm a size 8, but sometimes I'm a 6, but also in this thing I'm a 10, so I don't actually know what to get, so I'm just sort of, like, shooting down the middle." Don't you imagine if that was you or me? I'd be like, "Okay, sometimes I wear this, but sometimes I wear that, so I don't know with this brand, I guess I'm just gonna guess."
and I'm hoping it is something that is tight in one area, loose on the what you don't want is
Yes.
something with a hip cutout because that you can't fix quick enough. Does that make sense? Like,
She can't fix
up
anything, it's like 20 minutes for the wedding. Yeah,
right, you can pin though. If you had some big
true.
safety pins, you can take in some parts, but what you can't fix is something that's fitted, that's shaped in the hips.
Uh-huh.
That, in my experience, is a no. That's you're in trouble. You need something flowy on the bottom. But, um, I
Yeah.
feel like Stevie should wear feathers. I don't know.
Ooh. Katie is a stylist, so if Katie tells you to wear feathers, you just wear feathers. You just do it.
If your name is Stevie, wear feathers.
Just
Like
go for
something
it.
with some cool yeah, I would
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
that. Definitely. Yeah.
So Claire, her friend, the burlesque dancer, comes
Mhm.
in with the shoes. She's like, I don't even know if these are going to kill my feet or what. So Kim or Kaya, I don't know which is which, was doing her hair. And they're like, is Saeed going to be here? Like, his only friend. She goes, I don't know. Ugh, gross. So um, now Maddie and Saeed are together. And Maddie tells Saeed, okay, so Stevie confirmed to me that she's not bisexual. She doesn't like girls. And Saeed is such a shit stirrer. He goes, well, you really don't know that because like she said that before. So you don't really have an answer. So you're just accepting her as she is, because like you don't know. And Maddie is
Sir,
like, Maddie goes, um, I don't have any evidence or reason to be skeptical about it because this is what she told me. And he goes, oh, I like your optimism and understand your fear about facing reality. But in truth, maybe there's things there that you don't even want to know about her. Does that make you feel good? Okay. Saeed has been an online friend. They've never met in person until this bachelorette party. Saeed, slow your roll.
he is not pleasant.
Mm-mm.
He's
And
really unpleasant.
he's got that big dimple in his chin that I don't like at all.
Oh, man, he's gonna show up at the reunion too, and he's gonna think
Oh,
he has
of
some sort
course.
of receipt, and it's
Yep.
gonna be awful. I mean, I'm just seeing it in my head. I do not like him. He's
You're
a
so
weird
right.
antagonistic friend. I don't like him. He's not helpful.
He is gonna show up with some kind of receipt. You're exactly right. Yes, you're
An
exactly
old
right.
Facebook photo or something. He's gonna find some dirt and think he solved the puzzle and that
Mhm.
his friend Maddie's been lied to. Alright.
So it's gonna be, Stevie when she's 22 on her first bachelorette party in New
Yes.
Orleans, and it's gonna be her, like, grabbing her friend's boob like, "Aren't I funny?"
With tons of beads on as,
Yeah.
like, somebody's
Yeah.
flat. Right, it's
Mm.
gonna be something totally innocuous that he's gonna take to the 100th level. Okay. Oh,
You're
brother.
so right, Katie. You're so
Oh,
right.
I hope I'm not. I hope I'm wrong, but I think I'm right.
So Maddie goes, "I'm really happy, Saeed, like, I mean it, like, I'm really happy." And he goes, "Listen, I hope it works out. And at the end of the day, I'm here for you. But since you don't have any family here and we're from the same culture, I feel that responsibility of your family." And in the talking head, Maddie goes, Saeed is a protective friend, but to be honest, I've been worried about him every single moment he's been around. And then Saeed goes, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to have a chat with CB. So he just storms off to go chat with the bride before the wedding.
It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. It's just really stupid.
Don't be a sister. Okay. All right. So now we can move on to Shekinah and Sarper. Now, were you ever involved in any of these other seasons where we had Shekinah and Sarper? So you know of these people.
I am very well aware of them. Yes.
Okay. Were you happy or unhappy to see them on your screen when you realized you had to binge watch this in 2
I thought
days?
they were long done.
Same.
Okay.
Sarper is currently teaching exercise classes in LA called Laugh Aerobics, where he gets some ladies and he does like 4 steps to the right. Did your man call you last night? No. Ha 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 ha. Has them laugh strongly. And then I'll go, okay, 6 running in the place. Now, did your man tell you he put a tracker on your phone? Ha 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 ha. Now 12 running in place. That's what he's doing. He's created a type of aerobics called laugh aerobics where you're doing this like forced laughing for the breathing, where he's putting in funny quips about dating dudes. Feelings on that, Katie?
Bad. Bad fee don't how much is the class? Too much? Probably.
I think it's like $30. It's like the price of a regular spin class or whatever. Now, Matt and Jake and Kristen, our social media girl, have all said they're going to take it. None of them have done it. I texted Kristen the other day. I said, bill me for whatever is the price of the class and please go. And she said, well, Matt and Jake wanted to go. I go, I don't want Matt and Jake to go. I want you as a woman to go and experience it as a woman because that's his target audience and then report back. She said she would.
If I stay in LA for a minute, I will
Yeah,
do that for you. But I don't exercise.
I don't
Am I
either.
is this gonna be rough for me? Is it look difficult?
No, it looks like I could do it. It's like step forward 3 times, do forced laughing, jog in place for 6 beats, forced laughing. Now do 2 push-ups, forced laughing, like that. It's all about looking
Oh,
at
I
him
can't
and
do a
laughing at his
push-up.
jokes. Well, I mean,
Okay.
okay.
I can do a half a push-up.
You could do a girl push-up. You don't have to go on your hands. You could just go on your elbows.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
We'll see how it we could see how it goes.
Okay.
Um, but I could report back on I am very curious. I would like to see him in real life for sure.
He has very short legs, is from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Mhm. Big on the top, like an upside down triangle?
Also massive head, like huge
Yeah, and a
head.
piece. This on the top is a piece.
Yeah, I wanna see that in real life too. I
Yeah,
would
our hair bunkie, Lindsay, that does, that's what she does for her job. She always can spot and explain to us why this is a piece when sometimes we're like, "Is that his hair?" No, this whole thing in the front is a piece, and
but
it's
it's glued.
very popular in Turkey. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it's glued down, right? And then you have the whole item replaced and then glued back down.
Yeah,
So
mhm.
okay, yes, I've seen videos of that. Okay.
That's what he's got. I don't know who he's gonna find to do it in LA. Okay, so they're still in this coffee shop. They're still having this fight. She goes, "I'm walking around looking for you, babe, the day before the wedding, and we're supposed to go to the hotel. Like, what do you need? Like, what's the problem? We're at the end of the 90 days. Like, you're gonna have to go back to Turkey, babe." And he goes, "How did you find me?" And she goes, "Babe, I have an air tag on your key ring for your keys. Like, because you lose your keys. Like, it's for your keys." And he goes, "You gave this to me on day one. You never tell me you have tracker on me." And she goes, "It's for your keys, babe, but, like, in this case, it came in handy because I was looking for you, babe." The talking head Sarper goes, "I'm sure she was always double checking on me. She was asking me, 'Where are you?' And I would say, but she was double checking because she has a tracker on me."
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
because he refused to give her location. So listen, you gotta sometimes if you don't trust somebody, you gotta put an air tag on them. It's
Okay.
true. Yeah.
Sorry, where are they?
LA.
Where in LA are they?
Listen, don't ask me specifics. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like it's a WeHo situation. I feel like it's West Hollywood, but I'm not completely sure. Matt or Jake can tell you because they know exactly what that building is. So if somebody knows, you can tell me in Patreon or just DM us. Yeah.
Yeah, I just that is so he was at a coffee shop though. For those he had like a tile on his phone, right? That's what the air tagger was. It
It's on his
wasn't
keychain. It's on his keychain.
so you have to be within a certain range to be able it's not like she could track him across town on one of those, I don't think. I don't think that's the way those beep things work, where it's like hooked to your phone, to your key. So if you lose one or the other, you're
No, no, no,
okay
no, no, no.
unless it's
If you put an air tag in your suitcase, it will
really?
track your suitcase for you in the air. Your suitcase can be in Columbus, Ohio, and you're in LA, and it will tell you. If you put, yeah, it's the same as
Oh, I didn't know about that. Well, now I
like
know.
like if your iPhone and you're trying to track it and
Yeah,
it's
the
in
Find
Los
My.
Angeles and you're in Kentucky, it'll tell you your
Mm,
iPhone's in Los Angeles. Yeah, that's what an
okay,
AirTag is.
I'm writing it down. Yep.
But here's the thing. An AirTag will also alert you and say an AirTag is following you. So if you have your iPhone, it will say an AirTag is following you. It will tell you. So this is all fake,
Yes.
A, or
A.
B, he has an Android and the AirTag so he wouldn't be alerted. I don't know.
A.
Okay.
A, because he wasn't a very good actor in the coffee shop.
He
He it
never is.
wasn't a great moment. I was like, "Are you guys doing a fake fight? Because this feels dumb.
Yeah, I
Dumber
mean,
than
they're
normal."
fake and the throuple is fake. Yeah,
The
that's
throuple
been
is fake?
Kimberly and I, that's been our assessment. They're fake in that maybe they are a throuple, but that couple has been on another reality show, and it's like, these friends are really like these 65-year-old dudes that take you on their boat. No, and she has this, like, their house, as somebody Googled it, it's like a $3 million house in the hills in San Diego. Nope, San Francisco, and no. Nope, San Diego, take it back. Um, no. And she's
Interesting.
like a tech genius. If you're a tech genius, you don't get to take off like 2 months to film a reality show. No.
Yeah, that
Nope.
was very vague. I didn't like that.
Mhm.
Okay. Alright.
Mm. Don't look her up on the Instagram. She'll clap back. She's a clapbacker.
Okay.
Okay.
No, no, thank you.
So, and that's when Sarper's like, "I don't know why she's always double checking on me." She goes, "Babe, you should get over it. It's normal for couples here to share their location. And, and he goes, "Yeah, it's fine, but if you would have told me, but you didn't tell me." And she goes, "Don't make it a big deal, babe." And he goes, "Well, you've never been married. I was married before and I've been very anxious about it. And, you're the first person I've ever really loved. I've told you this." She goes, "Oh my God, is this like too much for you? Like, you need to tell me, like, what's going on? Because, like, if we don't get married tomorrow, like, it's over." And he goes, "It's not about you." And she goes, "Well, you're marrying me. So it is about me." And he goes, "Something new always comes up. There's the prenup. Now there's the phone tracking. It's like always something." She goes, "Babe, it's a precaution that most Americans take. But if this is triggering for you, we don't have to do the prenup. We can do the postnup. But if we don't get married, you have to go back to Turkey. Is that what you want?" He goes, "No, I don't. It's not what I want." She goes, "Took you way too long to answer, babe." And he goes, "You're right. We have to do it, I think." And she goes, "Okay,
Okay.
so we have to do it. Okay, great, babe." So
He
I
is
was talking,
so pensive drama. I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
in the talking head, he says, "If you give your finger to a woman, she wants your hand. If you give the hand, she wants the whole arm.
Oh god.
Eventually, she has the whole body. I need more time, but I don't have it."
Don't marry him.
No,
Don't marry him, and him, don't marry her. Just don't get married to each other. I think
just
you should
date
not
long
get
distance.
married.
Date long distance. It's fine.
Yeah, do that.
So they hug and he goes, "No more secrets." And she goes, "Okay, babe." So the next day, they're heading out with the suitcase. They're heading towards this bedding venue. You understand about the bedding, not the
Oh, yeah.
wedding.
No,
Mhm.
yeah.
They're heading towards the bedding venue. And she says, "I'm starting to feel stressed because he's so unsure." And he goes, "It's internal conflict, babe. It's not you." Talking Ted, he goes, "Yeah, I totally have cold feet, 90 days almost up. It's a choice. Do I want her in my life or not? Because if we don't actually get married, then we've decided we're not gonna date long distance anymore. Like it's too much." And so she goes, they go to the hotel, whatever. And she goes, "I'm so excited, babe. I'm so excited. I've tried many times to come and see this room in person, but I've seen the pictures, but it was always, people were always here.
Mm-mm.
Um, my vision is for us to be in the bed, majestic bed, like lots of natural light, sexy, classic, unique, beautiful chandeliers. Let's go." So they go in. The room is completely fine, totally fine.
Fine.
And she goes, "I hate how worn out this room looks." So she's just pointing out like the floor looks scuffed or whatever. Let's be honest, all of this for them is only about the photo shoot and the pictures.
Yes,
So
100%.
aesthetically, if they can get that, the actual, "I'm gonna remember every single point of this, every flower, everything for the rest of my life," that's not what we're dealing with here.
Right.
Right.
That's
No.
correct.
Right.
It's only about Instagram. It's really that's it.
Yeah. And she's like, "This place looks rough. It's like making me sad, and I don't really like it." And you hear him go, "Of course." And he goes, "Baby, it's good." She goes, "No, I don't like it. Like, it's not great. It's not like what I envisioned." He goes, "Baby, try." So in the talking head, she goes, "The decor is old and it's not like the pictures and it's not my style. And all of my dreams are being destroyed by the reality of this room."
Oh my god.
So he hugs her. By the way, if they're doing a bedding because they're always in bed, they should do the bedding at their fucking house. Have the
Uh-huh.
bedding at their house, in their bed, in their
Uh-huh.
actual bed. Why this bed?
Correct. Correct. Or you are in Los Angeles, go to Malibu. Rent an Airbnb, do something at a beach house where you're gonna get tons of natural light, and probably there are bedrooms set up there with, like, big high ceilings where you could get something that's very, like, atmospheric, but you where I don't know where they are. This
They
is
went to
dumb.
some hotel. They went to some hotel
This is really
that
and
they got
don't do it, don't
for
book it
free.
if you can't see it.
Yeah.
Don't book it.
So he
Crazy.
hugs her and he goes, "It's good. We're together. These are little small things. We don't need to worry about it." And she goes, "It's not cute."
Oh,
And he
yeah.
goes,
You're
he
not
goes,
cute.
he goes, "Oh, you make everything miserable for yourself. Don't do it. Why are you making it miserable? Why are you crying?" "No, I am upset." So I'm a talking
Okay.
head, and then the talking head, he goes, "I'm doing everything I can to convince myself to get married, and she's causing drama, which is making me question everything. I call her cold-blooded assassin because she can be ruthless. She is perfectionist. I told her I don't even want to get married. She didn't cry about that, but now she's crying for this dingy room." So, what does this tell you? It's not about your feelings at all. It's about aesthetically how it looks to the eye.
Yeah.
So she's crying. She's like, "This just sucks. It's so terrible." And he goes, "Oh, you're so difficult. Please go and cry on your own." And he walks out.
Wow.
Just what you want. So she calls her wedding planner, Courtney. She's like, Courtney, I hate it. It's not cute. It's not cute. I'll see you in an hour. It's not what we expected, Courtney. I was like, oh, poor Courtney.
Poor Courtney.
Poor Courtney. So he says, look, I know it's difficult to make you happy. You're a perfectionist, but everything is going to be fine. Okay. So in the talking head, she goes, I'm a perfectionist and I don't sacrifice my vision. So Courtney arrives and she goes, look, here's what we're going to do. Because when she said she liked the chandeliers and then she liked the bed, but she didn't like that the bed wasn't under the chandelier. So Courtney goes, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring the bed in here under the chandeliers. We'll just do this. We'll center this here. Like maybe you won't have the natural light. We're going to move the curtains, blah, blah. The poor workers from the hotel came in. She goes, hey, don't be mad, but like we're going to rearrange all the furniture in these 3 rooms. Okay, go.
Oh my god.
Thoughts?
I'd be mad if I would be mad if specifically Shekinah was telling me you were gonna do that. I would be like, "Okay, we're gonna need a deposit, and
Yeah.
we're going to need you to put everything back exactly where you found it, so take
Uh-huh.
some more pictures,
Mhm.
because
'Cause
if
we're
you're
not
moving
doing
the
it.
bed."
Yeah,
Yeah, because 'cause we're not doing it. You can have a team come in, you can hire people to come and do this. Yeah.
crazy. So Courtney goes, "Okay, now that we figured out what to do, we're gonna put the bed here. Let's figure it out. We're gonna put like a drape here. We're gonna stage it. We're gonna have some candles. We're gonna have some flowers. It's gonna be just like your vision." And she kind of is like, "Oh my God, Courtney, you're the best. Thank you." Okay, so nighttime comes. Now, when we saw this last week, I told Kimberly that it looked to me that she had a lymphatic drainage body system because the place where I go to get the weight loss shots, they have this, and you can get in just like what she did to him. They put the legs on you, they put the body on you and the arms on you, and then you start it, and it does lymphatic drainage, and it starts at your feet. It squeezes the fuck out of you all the way up.
Weird, okay.
She only brought it for his legs. She didn't bring the other section. I don't know. But so she starts him on the lymphatic drainage. He has on a green mask, and then she puts a LED mask. She's now doing an eye massage thing with an electric thing, like shocking her own face.
Wow, wow. Yeah,
All of these things that they do, I've seen or I own. This thing with the electrodes on the face, I've not seen. I do
yeah.
have the new face thing that shocks your face, but I've not seen it just for the eyes.
I've seen them just for the eyes. I've seen them for sale. I've never seen them in use. Hmm.
Well, she's like, watch, babe, look at my eye twitch. Isn't it sexy? So she's doing
No.
lymphatic no, it's not. She's doing gua sha, she's doing lymphatic drainage on her face.
Yeah,
She was
she really
a gel patch on her chest, and then he's got the machine on his legs, and then he goes, "She's taking my legs with me. I cannot move, and we will have the bedding because I will not be able to leave." She puts on a chin strap.
yeah.
He's in an LED mask, lymphatic drainage. She puts on an LED blanket, which I also own, and they do all this for the cameras, which is ridiculous, and I kinda loved it.
I totally bought it when she said that that's the one thing that they're good at. She was like, "This is us at, like, our good moment," is how she describes them doing their nighttime get ready for bed routine, which was so intense.
Yeah.
Um, that leg thing, how much is that?
So like the place that I go to, so they have the whole system. They have the legs, the torso. So you lay down and they
Yeah.
Velcro the legs, the torso, the arms, everything around you.
So how
And then
much
I
to
have
get
no
that started?
idea. I don't know. They have several of
Mm.
them there and you go in and you do it. I will tell you that the full LED bed that I have that's like a double sleeping bag. So use the top and the bottom. I
Oh,
got that on Amazon because I had so much credit on Amazon, and it was like $500.
whoa. What does it
Yeah.
do
So, you know how the LED is good
for
for
your
the
face?
whatever. Yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah, and
right, right, right.
I've got the face one, and I've got the neck and chest one that you strap on, but this is the
Yes.
whole body. The whole point of it is it's supposed to really it's supposed to increase collagen, but it's supposed to if you have sore muscles or it's really supposed to penetrate that light. It's supposed to help your muscles,
Oh.
cell rejuvenation, all these things. So if I was to do all of these things every day, I would look like Shekinah. That's what I'm saying.
That would not be okay.
I don't do all these things every day, nor do I look like Shekinah, nor do I want to. But I do have all these things except for that thing, and I could do them every day, but I don't. I
I
don't.
do the gua sha every day. I do that
Yeah,
little stone every day.
yeah, I've got the thing, but
I don't know if it helps, but I
the
feel like
whole
it does a little bit.
I
I
think
like
about the
that.
gua sha is that you really have to start here with, like, you have to
Yeah.
tap here and then
Mhm.
tap all up here to open all this, and then when you gua sha, it's supposed to do the drainage.
I like it. I've liked it. I've been using it for, like, almost a year, and
Yeah.
I have liked it so far.
It's the
Um,
same idea, guys, as you get that cold roller and you're just
yeah,
doing it
it's
up
just the
your
rolling.
face. It's sort of draining your face, but because you're supposed to do the tapping on the neck and then tapping on the chest, which is supposed to open it up. And I'm all about anything that's gonna help me look 4 months younger. Anything. I'll do
So what did
anything.
Kris Kardashian do? What's happened to her face?
I just sent so Heather McDonald, my friend, used to is a podcaster everybody knows. She used to be very close friends with, Kris Jenner. They're not, like, not friends anymore, but they're just not
Sorry, Kris Jenner, pardon. Yeah,
yeah,
mhm.
yeah, they're not well, is she Kardashian now? Did she go back
Unsure.
to unsure. So,
On the
they
journey.
used to be very close friends, and they're friendly still, but not like close friends. But, of course, so much has been made about this new facelift. So,
Yeah, 'cause
there's
it's
this
really good.
doctor and I know you're like, "Ah, I don't know, Katie, if you're on this." There's this doctor, and I'm gonna send it to you, that's on Instagram, he's on TikTok, whatever, and he is just the most no nonsense, badass, like, sort of mean doctor, where his assistant lists for him, like, latest thing.
I know who you're talking
LED
about.
yeah,
I
and
know
he goes,
exactly who you're talking about.
"That's
Yeah.
completely bullshit, I give it a negative 100." Right?
Yes.
So he
Yes.
did Kris Jenner and what her face was, and he goes, all those photos are AI generated. That is" he said, "The problem with this is people have seen her in person. So, obviously, you cannot look like your 40-year-old daughter. It's all AI generated. Yes, she may have had a deep plane facelift. Yes, she may have had this and a laser peel or whatever, but there's no way to achieve that result at that age. So that is AI generated." And he said more than once, the problem is people have seen her in person. So those photos are not correct.
Wow.
And I don't mean if he saw her at the country club or if his assistant saw her out in public. What he's saying is the problem is people have seen her. And he goes, "That's an AI generated thing." So I sent it to Heather and she wrote back, "I don't want to believe it. I want to believe all of us can have baby skin when we're 70." And I said, "I know, but there's no way."
No, there's no way.
Um, so yeah, I think she definitely had something done, but the photos that we're seeing are heavily edited.
Good to know. I like
Yeah.
that. Thank you. That's good
Mhm.
that I will accept that response. I
Yeah.
like that.
Because
Mhm.
you think, "Oh wow, there's hope for all of us." But no,
More
no.
like, how much is that? Like, whatever little pin tucking facelift, like, 'cause that's what I've
Yeah.
been hearing about are those little,
Mhm.
they're small and they're all over and it's like lift here, lift it,
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
very detailed that's what, like, the Lindsay Lohan,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
and that's what I thought could happen, but I'm like, she's significantly older than Lindsay Lohan, so I have to imagine it's something more intense, but the AI is making the most sense because it
Yeah.
is almost like a skin texture thing. You are
That's
correct.
his whole thing was like, there you can't actually get your skin to look like that. Yeah.
Okay.
All
Alright, good.
right. So they're
But the
done.
leg thing is wild. Their whole nighttime routine is bizarre, and it is the one time that I've seen them that I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's why they get along," because 'cause they're both very into this, and it's become a couple's bonding thing.
They're
They're
so
both
vain.
very yes, they're vainness, they're both but they're equally into it, and
They're
so
just like, "We are the
great.
hottest. We're the hottest couple." Yeah.
That could work if there wasn't
Yeah.
all this other stuff, but potentially that could work in Los Angeles. That could.
In Los Angeles. So my thought is there another couple in the LA area that we can think of, like movie stars or influencers or whatever, that they're obviously just together because they look so good together, and you have to imagine they go to bed and like, "Where's my chin strap? Where's my LED mask? Where's my lymphatic drainage? Where's my electric eye shocker?" And that's all they're never gonna have sex, they're only gonna discuss that, and they're gonna get in the bed and be like, "We have 6 episodes to watch of this before we're allowed to get out of this."
Spidey? Spidey, Heidi and
No.
Spencer a long
No,
time ago, not now, but
maybe
back
a
then.
long time ago. I don't think Spencer gives 2 shits what he looks like.
Now, but
Yeah.
then, I think he very much did.
Hmm, okay. That's a good
I think
throwback.
Spencer thought he was this is a hot take. I think Spencer thought he was very handsome
Yeah.
and encouraged her to get
They're
above
very, very there is I mean,
their
speaking
shoes.
this is speaking of Heather, there Spencer goes on her show quite a bit,
Mhm.
and I find him fascinating. Fascinating. I
Have
find
you watched
him
Big
fascinating.
Brother? Have you seen the Big Brother UK with them on it? With
No,
Spidey on it? You
no,
should watch that. It
mm-mm.
is fast. The UK Celebrity Big Brother, and they're on 2 different seasons. The first one they're on, they are amazing. They are
Yeah,
great TV.
yeah, they are. Okay, so Greg and Joan. Now, I will
Okay.
never be able to do the Long Island accent as
Like
well as
Kimberly.
Kimberly. I
Yeah.
can't do it as good, and you do a good one as well.
Not like Kimberly.
So
Kimberly
good.
has it in her bones somewhere. It's
It's
very
so good.
funny.
So
Mhm.
when I realized that this couple was gonna be he was from Long Island, I go, "Okay, you're assigned these people." So
Yes.
today's the day of the wedding, and he's freaking out about the wedding. He told everybody the wedding start was at 6:30, but actually that's not gonna work because 6:30 is when she's walking down the aisle, so people need and when I tell you, even last week, we're like, "We don't quite understand why this is such an insurmountable problem." If people arrive between 6:25 and 6:35 and you start the wedding at 6:45, are they being charged by the minute? Like, why is this such a problem?
I'm guessing they bought an open bar from a certain time to a certain time, is my
Uh-huh.
guess, or alcohol is only served from this time to this time, and because he hasn't been married, he doesn't think there's wiggle room. He
I
thinks that that is just if that bar is not closed by 7:30, like, he's very much that's it,
but
we're
his
not gonna
parents
do
are paying for the wedding because they paid for his sisters. And so and by the way, the venue, the Marconi whatever, got
Mhm.
so much free press. So, obviously, they're not being paid for. I think this is like a bullshit thing because they have no other problems.
I do too. I think
Yeah,
this was
okay.
definitely amplified. I think he may have had a minor freak out and somebody grabbed onto it and was like, "Okay, let's make this a bigger
Yeah,
thing." I
yeah,
think it did occur to him like, "Oh my god, I really messed up," but I think he was more okay with it than
yeah, I
they
agree.
led us to believe. Yes.
So his mom, Lucille, is calling everybody and telling them to come earlier. And she's like, "How you doing, Lucy? Oh my God, I'm so glad you're coming. How's your mom? Oh, I heard she had the cancer. That's terrible. Okay, give your dad all the love. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. Gregory's telling me I have to hang up. Oh, okay. Don't forget the cannolis. I mean, it's so
It is.
he goes, we have 80 people to call. She's having 10-minute conversations. The math doesn't work. Excuse me, Greg, get off the couch and call somebody yourself. Because you seem to be just barking orders from the couch.
I was highly annoyed that he was just sitting there. I was like, "I need to see your phone up in your hand. I need to see you with your phone in your hand, Gregory." Alright.
Gregory is just telling Lucille what to do. So now we see Joan. She's at the hair place. Her hair and makeup look incredible.
Yeah.
And she's invited Greg's friend Laura to be her bridesmaid because that's like the one friend she's
Yeah.
made. And she goes, I like Laura. She's good vibes. She's good vibes. She's good energy. And we do get it from Laura. Laura's good vibes. She has
Laura
good energy.
does the best job I've ever seen. Laura
Yeah.
comes in and says all the right things that a bride needs to hear. I was like, "D team Laura,
Yeah.
good
She's
on
great.
you. Did great." Mhm.
Laura comes in to help her and she's super positive. She's on it. She's doing everything. And I say, where was Laura when Alliya gets married? Because Jackie was the worst bridesmaid ever and let Alliya be 2 hours late to her own wedding. We need a Laura. She's in there. She's on it. We've got 5 minutes. We got to go.
You you definitely need someone who's a little bit like a, "We're gonna be half an hour early to the airport," not like, "The plane
Yes.
will wait for us," and that
Right.
seems to be what Aaliyah's counterpart is, so
Hmm, hmm. So Lucille goes, look, if people don't come early, they just don't get in. It's fine. And so Lucille
it's
and
great.
Greg are both all dressed up. They look very nice. And
Mhm.
she's like, you look great, Gregory. My youngest getting married today. Nice knowing you. Get out of here. And he goes, thank you, Ma, for teaching me to be such a good person. Now, after the wedding, we got to come right back up to the room because I don't have a job. We don't have anywhere to live.
Oh my god. He has a
Talking,
job?
he does have one now with the state, Katie, with the state. So
Benefits.
Yeah, benefits with the state. He's got a state job.
He's
So
got
in
a state.
Talking Head, he says his stress is 8 out of 10 because worst case scenario is all these people show up late and they're trying to walk down the aisle and she's walking down the aisle. I was like,
No, no one's
that
doing
was
that.
no, that
No,
would never happen.
no, no, it's not. But he doesn't know that.
He
In
doesn't
his
know.
brain, maybe everyone's together like a traffic jam.
Yes, I think so. Doesn't matter if the bride's here, the guests are all just eating. Yeah.
Sure.
So in the talking head, Joan says she loves her dress. She loves the way it fits. It fits her
Yeah,
properly. She's very happy about it.
yeah.
This is a dream come true. They've been together for 4 years now, engaged and doing this process for two. So she's happy that it's all finally coming to fruition. So Laura and Joan come down and they get into this vintage car to the Marconi Manor. Now we didn't know it at the time, but I think this is Greg's dad because we never met him before.
Hmm.
I think he's just like, Greg, I'll go to your wedding, but I don't want to be on camera. Don't talk to me, Greg.
Yes.
Don't mic me up, Greg. I'm not about that life, Greg.
Yeah.
It's all about you and your mother. So, Greg and his mom arrive at 5:30 and the whole venue looks like super nice.
Yes.
Everything looks beautiful. I was impressed.
It looks great.
Marconi Manor, hashtag not an ad. So
Yeah.
now it's 6 o'clock. People are showing up. He's so relieved that people like decided to show up early. Joan arrives with Laura in this vintage car, and it's 6:30, and they're like, "Can everybody take their seats or take their seats?" Now, the doors open, and we assume there's music we can't hear because it's, TM.
Mhm.
And Lucille walks in, and then Laura walks in. Scarlett, the flower girl, walks in, and Greg from the up front goes, "Oh, yeah, Scarlett, whoop, 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 whoop." Now, he was hyping up the flower girl from the
They got
okay,
a thing. It's cute.
it's cute. Now, Joan walks in with his father. Now, we've never seen this man before because he refuses to be on camera and
We
be
have
a
no
part of
yeah,
these shenanigans.
yeah.
But what I wrote was Joan walks in with an unknown man. And then
Daddy?
I scratched it and said his father.
Yeah,
So their buddy Dan is the officiant. And like
yeah.
I do for all weddings, Love is Blind, etc., I just say he says some words and they do the vows because nobody cares. I don't need to
Mm.
know. No, I love you, blah, blah, blah.
There was
It's sweet.
nothing offensive in the vows,
Mm-mm.
and
No,
so it's fine.
it's
Like,
fine.
I feel like there's going to be some offensive vows in the couple we just talked about,
Mm. Mhm.
for sure. The
Yeah,
bedding vows are going to have some weird stuff in them.
oh my god, you're so right. They're
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
am.
like, Babe, when you look at my ear, it makes me feel like" yeah, you're so right. There's gonna be
Yeah.
a lot of "babe." So Dan, the officiant, says some words, they do the vows, it's all very sweet, they say, "I do," and we see really cute, we see a chair in the front with just her family on the computer
Yeah.
watching, like, "Yay," and that was cute. They kiss, they're very happy, they're very well matched, and sometimes these couples, in the first few episodes, you're like, "What on earth?" And then as you go, you're like, "Okay, I can see it." Like, Gino and Jasmine always shared a love of, like, poop jokes and, like, you're like, oh, but you're like, "Okay, I guess they're both kinda gross, and that's why they're bonded."
There you go.
And so, you don't know why these 2 love each other, but they do, and then once you're around them more and more, you're like, "Okay, I get it. I
It's
get it."
David and Annie.
Totally David and Annie. Like, you could have never gotten that, but then when they're together, you're like, they each think the other one is the funniest person on the earth. Yes.
That a great marriage makes.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
it. Bingo. Yeah.
So everybody dances and has fun, and she throws the bouquet, Lucille catches it, and for some reason, Greg decides to bust a move and also bust his suspenders? Like, what was is that he's dancing and then he pulls them off and he's,
Yeah. "You
"Hey."
can leave your hat on." You know, he's got a that's his move.
Yeah,
That's
but we
his
don't hear
move.
the music, so we don't know because it's TM, right?
Yeah, I wonder what it was.
Yeah. So in the
Question.
talking head, they're all very lovey-dovey. She's so beautiful, he's so great. Best day of their lives. We're a match made in heaven. 4 years, we did it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
All the sacrifices have been worth it. The end. Okay.
Congratulations, and we'll see you on Pillow Talk for sure.
They will be great on Pillow Talk,
It
actually.
will be great. They're gonna put them on Pillow Talk.
They would actually be really, really good because she is very, like, quick and harsh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and he's from Staten Island, so, I mean or Long Island, so
Yeah.
it's perfect. Yes,
Yeah.
put him up. Mhm.
All right, we'll move on to Mark and Mina. Now, I'm at Bald Head Island, and Mark does have a brother that lives on Bald Head Island. I'm not sure if you, in your 2-day binge, noticed that Mark and Mina came to Bald Head Island.
No,
When
about
when
this.
Mina and Jordan had the fight on the beach,
Mhm.
they were in Southport, which is the beach you stand on to get on the ferry to go, and then they came over, and when they were at his brother's place where they had the barbecue where the mom was there and trying to, like, "Okay, Mina and Jordan, don't fight," and his mom was trying to that they were on Baltic Island.
I see. Okay.
Okay. So, I'm still looking for those people, and I'll report back when I get the information. So,
Yes, please.
Mina is bawling crying because she's gotten the call about Clayton not being able to come to the wedding. Now, Caroline, the wedding planner, they keep zooming in on her face for no reason. She didn't ask for this, but she's running around trying to help and give tissues, and they're, like, zooming in on her face. I was like, "Don't do Caroline wrong. She's just here."
But they can't focus in on her face, on Misha's face, because it's just streaks
Shrieks. Kimberly
of
always
passion.
talks about how she has very thin tears. Kimberly's very focused on the fact that when Mina cries, which has been quite a bit, her tears are very thin, like somebody just, like, dropped them on her face.
I think that's just her makeup pattern.
Oh, it could be. Mhm, could be.
You're just seeing clear outlines of hers. There's no
Where it drains
I don't
down the
know any
makeup. Yeah.
mascara that runs that badly.
Yeah.
Is she using Chanel? I'm only guessing because Paris.
Probably.
That's
She is from Paris. Poor
not one of
Caroline. Caroline sees some shit in her job.
yeah,
She's like,
yeah,
"Whatever, another crying bride, it's fine."
yeah.
So he goes out and hugs her and he goes, "I'm so sorry this is happening." And she goes, I believed him up until the last minute that he'd be able to come. I feel like I've let him down." And Mark goes, "We're going to live stream him. It's going to be fine. You don't want to cancel the wedding after everything we've done, all you've done, all we've been through. Like, you don't want to cancel the wedding." And she says, "No." In her talking head, she says, "Clayton is her baby, the light of her life. She misses him so much. Nobody can understand. And she has no doubts about the marriage or the person she's marrying, but she does have doubts about this decision. Will her son later think she's selfish because she really wants him in the US and she feels she let him down?" Because I think that when you get approved for the K1, I think from what we've heard, you have within like 2, 3 weeks to accept it and then move to wherever you want to move.
Right, right.
Now, I also heard from our bunkie, Jessica, that said that Mina was a citizen of Angola, and then she had French citizenship. And because she had dual citizenship, that probably means Clayton had dual citizenship. So they're dealing with Angola, France, and United States,
Ooh,
trying to get him over. So it wasn't just as easy as, "I'm gonna go with my mom." It wasn't as easy as they thought. And
would
probably
it
the dad, wherever he is, had to also agree.
would it also be easier once they're married?
Maybe.
So, I don't know why it was ever promised that he would be able to come.
I don't either. I don't either. She was like, "I kept telling him, and I now he's gonna think I'm a liar," you know? So she says, "Yes, I'll do it," and so they kiss. So now we're, back at the airport house, and we have lots of American flag paraphernalia, and I don't know if they're making the wedding American themed or if it's 4th of July, or I don't know what's going on, but they're doing this American flag. It's 2 days for the wedding. They're doing this American flag paraphernalia, and the sister goes, "Who is this person?" It's like Uncle Sam. And he comes up and they go, "Mark, we don't know. Is this George Washington? Who is this person?" And he goes, "Colonel Sanders." And
Correct.
they
With
and they all and they all go, "Oh, okay," because they understood that. And he's like, "No, no." So it's funny. So Mina, he says, "You need to call Clayton and talk." It's funny, his name is Clayton, but he calls him Clayton. "You need to call Clayton and talk
they
to him."
don't.
Clayton.
Yeah.
And, he goes, "Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Rip the Band-Aid off. You gotta be able to focus on the wedding. He's just a kid. He's gonna be okay. This is hard," whatever. And he's also speaking with he's got adult kids, so he knows, like, some of these things are rough when they're little, but, he'll be
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So in talking head, she goes, "We tried everything." And, um, Clayton knows that I promised he could be here, and he knows that I said he could be the ring bearer, and now I have to tell him then he won't be able to come. It breaks my heart." So she calls him and she goes, "Tell me about your day." He goes, "I've had a fun day." He's 12. "I've had a fun day. I've been playing. I've been eating. I've been chilling." And it's so funny because he speaks English and she's speaking English, although they speak French. And
Mhm.
she goes, "Oh, you've been chilling." And he says, "Yes, chilling." He's so cute. And she
Yeah.
says, "Clayton, I am not happy for calling you today because Daddy and I were trying for you coming to the wedding, but it's not possible because of the passport." And he's so sweet. He goes, "Oh no." And that made me so, I don't know why. And you have a cold black heart and nothing ever gets there. But he goes, "Oh no." And he starts crying. And he says to his mom, "Do you miss me?" To his mom. Oh, Katie, none of these shows ever get me at all. But I was like, "Oh God,
I think because 'cause
it's
you're
so
used to the
hard."
setup. You're used to the 90-day setup where it's the buildup of, like, Clayton won't be that disappointed. He will have expected not to be able to come. He didn't really wanna come anyways, and it is not that. It is that he actually very much thought he was going to be able to come and wanted to come to America for this and period, and that was rough. That's why I think it got you because it doesn't normally happen like that.
And also, usually it's a fake out where it's
Yes,
like, "Actually, he's gonna come at the last minute," you know?
sure, or that.
And he says, "Do you miss me?" And she says, "Of course, I miss you so much." And
Oof.
he says, "Mommy, I just wanna give you a hug, and I wanna see
Oh.
Maria and Daddy." It was
You
so
need to do this
much.
wedding again in France. You need to go over there, let him be the ring bearer, small little ceremony. You guys gotta figure something out. You gotta make this up to him somehow.
It really got me because he was like,
Okay.
To have your kid go, 'I just wanna give you a hug,' and know they're however many miles away." I mean,
That's rough.
terrible.
That's hard.
So in her
Whoa.
talking head, she says, I feel like in this moment, the world is falling apart, and I have self-hatred because of it. I have doubts about all my choices, and I
Mhm.
wonder one day, will he blame me and say, 'My mother is selfish. You left me for a man?'" And that really disturbs me. And by the way, is this the first person on 90 Day Fiancé we have ever seen to have this actual self-knowledge to be like, "Wow, my child might think I left them for a man. Wow, I'm being really selfish." I don't know if anybody can name it. I don't know if I've ever seen it.
I think it is rare.
It just shows she's like a really good normal person.
She's also probably a great mom.
I think she's a great mom.
Clayton genuinely misses her.
Oh god.
Yeah.
And she
Mhm.
says, "Everything's gonna be okay. You're gonna see the wedding online. We're gonna have a chair with your name on it. You're gonna be able to see the whole entire thing. You'll be there the whole time." And
Mhm.
he's like, "Okay." And she goes, "No, I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna call you later." And they do kisses. And I was like, my little cold black heart can't take this.
Oh.
Mm, mm, mm. Okay. Shawn and Alliya, he walks up, okay, where we ended last week. Okay. So
Oh my
he walks
god.
up as Aliyah and Jackie are coming out. Now, what's your thought on this with the glam and the da 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 da, and I'm gonna be 2 hours late, and that's just fine. I mean, I feel for Shawn as the old man of being like, "No, I like things the way I like them, and I like things to be on schedule." And then I feel for her because she's trying to, like, do the thing, but 2 hours is egregious.
You needed to start earlier.
Right, right.
Yeah, if it was gonna take you this long
And Jackie shouldn't have been in charge
and
because she
also
wasn't keeping that time clock going.
maybe, maybe Aaliyah needed to be told that the deadline was an hour and a half before when it was.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
there needed
and
to be a
Jackie was in charge of this
Jackie maybe also needed to be lied to and be like,
because at
"You
1:30, Leah got in the shower, and she was
that
like, she said, "I need an hour and a half." But she had an hour and a half, but it took 3 hours.
so much longer." No,
Yeah,
they're just no.
mm-mm, mm-mm. And when
It's
she gets out of the shower and Jackie's like, "Let's pop the champagne." I go, "No, Jackie, mm-mm."
no,
And
Jackie was
also Jackie
terrible.
also told her the whole thing about the mom falling. Nope, that just took another 20
No,
minutes. Don't
no,
tell her
it's
any of it.
ridiculous. We don't have time. This
No,
is
bad, bad.
really bad, really bad. And
So
also, you know him,
right.
so why are you doing this? You
So she's standing at the top of the stairs in this dress, by the way, which is completely modeled on this Bob Mackie Cher outfit. Okay. So she put a picture up of exactly what the outfit was because he loves Cher. And so she modeled her entire wedding dress on this white Bob Mackie Cher outfit because she wanted to see his like reaction when she walked down the aisle, knowing this was a Cher thing that he loved. But of course, now it's
Was
all,
that was that one that he loved?
yeah, he
That
loves
specific
Cher.
one? No, but
Mhm.
that specific outfit
I
was
think he
one?
loved anything Bob Mackie designed for Cher, anything like Barbara Streisand, and so she was trying to like he said later, "We talked about this for so long and the surprise and how I was
Yes,
gonna," and
yes.
then he's like, "And I don't even care now," right?
Yeah.
So he walks up and they're standing at the top of the thing, and Jackie goes, "Oh, you're not supposed to see the bride." He's like, "Not having it." He's like screaming.
He's mad at Jackie.
And he goes, "I've been ready for an hour and 45 minutes. I don't give a fuck." And so Jackie goes, "Okay, well, whatever." And Jackie goes, "You look so amazing, Shawn. You look so great in your suit." He goes,
"Not
"Great."
now, Jackie."
"Mm-mm, Jackie." He goes, "Great. You can see me driving off in the car in it." And he says to them, "I'm not happy. I'm mad. I've been waiting. We have to quickly say, 'I do,' eat the food, and then kick everybody out." And she goes, "Okay." Because the schedule was the wedding would be this long, then the happy hour, then the band, then the whatever. But now they're so far into it, they've got to skip right to the food. They're missing all this like golden hour with the drinks and it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Also, somebody said they have a hard out at 8. I'm guessing this isn't a nighttime thing. I'm guessing it is like an evening thing, so you don't need to use the lights outside, etcetera, etcetera.
Uh-huh.
This is
Hmm.
all needs to be done before the sun goes down. It's just, oh, this is so I was really frustrated.
Me
I
too.
was annoyed.
So the talking head, he goes, "I'm not sure if it's culturally okay in Brazil to show up anytime you want for a wedding. But when I see them, I'm furious. I'm n I don't have that feeling of the dress. I'm furious. I'm
You're marrying
so
a
mad."
25-year-old.
Yeah.
You're marrying a 25-year-old.
Who a lot of people have pointed out that Aaliyah, now that she's beginning her transition, really is actually pretty much younger because she's sort of
Yes.
reverting back into, "Oh, wow, I didn't have a chance to actually be this young girl, and now I'm doing that," you know?
Yes, and Aliyah is focused on Aliyah,
Yes,
not
because
on
she's
you.
like she's nails, hair, body, dress. This is the wedding I've dreamed of. And so she goes, "Okay, okay." So Aaliyah and Jackie are in the golf cart. And Aaliyah goes, "So what time is it?" And Jackie goes, "Yeah, it's 6:50, so we're in trouble." Okay, again, Jackie, you had to watch the whole time. So the talking head, Jackie goes, "Aaliyah looks so beautiful. And we feel like we just got scolded by our dad. Like it's so uncomfortable." Well, are you
2
paying the bill?
hours. 2
Yeah.
hours late.
Mm-mm. So he goes back up, and Angela, the officiant, is there, and he literally goes, "You over here." Like that's where he's at. So Angela walks up and he goes, when you do it, just do the end part, the legal part. That's it. Just the I do's. That's it. Just the legal part." And she goes, "Okay." He goes, "Cut out the whole first part." Okay. So Aaliyah and Jackie arrive at the venue. Everyone's looking like, oh, everybody does seem to have drinks now. Cause I know earlier the mom was like, they could at least give us some drinks.
Yes, thank God.
Aaliyah walks down the aisle, which would have been such a moment if you can imagine. Shawn had no idea she's wearing this Cher-inspired Bob Mackie dress, and he would just been blown away by the whole thing, but
Right.
the whole moment is gone. She walks down the aisle, and he goes, "Here she comes in that dress that we spent so much time talking about. I was not allowed to see it, and I was gonna love it. I don't even care. I'm so mad, and I know myself, I have no ability to switch on and off, and I'm off. And I'm in a trance, and I wanna just get through the ceremony now." So at least he recognizes, like, "No, now I'm pissed, and now I'm not gonna be nice. I'm not gonna be like, 'You look great.' No, I'm on or off, and I'm off."
Ugh.
Ugh. So they just do the I do part, and they exchange rings, and she seems very, like, stunned. He takes the ring off the dog, which is cute. They're pronounced husband and wife, and they kiss, and he goes, "Okay, time to drink." And somebody in the audience is like, "Oh, bubbles, bubbles." And so they do the bubbles. He's like, "Fine." He holds her train. They're walking out. And the producer's like, "Oh my God, you guys get married. How you guys feeling? Woo." Aaliyah goes, "Wonderful." He says nothing. They go into the reception venue, which is like air conditioned. And they're like, "Well, it's nice in here." Wow. Yeah, it's looks really pretty. And, Alliya goes, "So, I guess we're just waiting on people." He goes, "Uh-huh." And the talking head, she goes, "The wedding ceremony was fast, and it was surprising that it went like that, so I don't even really know what happened. I don't know why we did that like that."
Because you're 2 hours late. I don't understand what's happened. This is such an unfortunate thing. Everyone's behaving horribly. I'm so frustrated. Why?
This is so uncomfortable. So they all sit and like, "Cheers to the wedding," or whatever. So the
Yeah,
sweet mom who we love, whose name I can't remember, says to
yeah.
Alliya, "I'm so sorry that I fell and I couldn't be there back there with you because I would have kept this train on the track."
Yes, we needed you, mom.
Aliyah's like, "Oh, no, it's just like, I was so sorry to hear that you fell," because they really do genuinely like each other. And in talking to head, Leah goes, "In all bad situations, I can always find the good. And I want Shawn to feel happy and proud for this big moment in our story. But I'm just trying to see the good and he can't see it. Because he has said when he's mad, and he's not, he can't. My husband's the same. When he's mad, he's mad.
Right.
And he can't just like pretend. With me, if I'm mad, I'm mad. And if there's like, I could be like, okay, everything's fine. I can pretend. I can be
Mhm.
furious, but I can pretend everything's fine. He doesn't have that ability at all.
No, not really.
So their friend Stacy does a toast. "Oh my gosh, here's the couple. This has been such an amazing journey, blah, blah, blah." And Shawn goes, "Yeah, I'll do a toast. I'm not going to stand up. Thanks to everybody for coming. And oh, Alliya, hey, thanks for you coming too. I'm glad you got around to it." It's so uncomfortable, Katie. So
It's so
uncomfortable.
bad.
It's
Sh
so awkward.
Shawn can't get over it, and Aaliyah really needed to be on time. Half an hour is okay,
Hmm. Yeah, agree with all
no
that.
later than that.
And so somebody across the table goes, "Oh my God, Shawn, redo your toast." He goes, "Nope, no redo. That's how I feel. Nope." So, in the talking head, Shawn says, "I needed her to step outside of herself and
Yeah.
realize what was going on with Shawn. And now I'm second guessing everything. And maybe she can't give me what I need because she's dealing with all of her own issues. And if this is a forever thing like this, I'm not going to be able to be in this relationship." So, there's lots of theories. And I'm kind of on board with the theory where
Okay.
once Aaliyah decided to transition and become Aaliyah and throw away the dead name and all that, that the 2 of them had an agreement where, "I wanna support you, you can come to the States, da, da, da," and I think they had an agreement where, yes, they would be open in that he could do what he wanted because he does, in fact, he's attracted to men, and Aaliyah's
Correct.
transitioned to a woman, but I think their relationship was such a tight bond that they have sort of made an agreement that he's helping her out to get to the States to help her out because it'll be way easier for her to transition and be accepted and be the person that she wants to be. And I think it's sort of a deal that they're making that they will be married, but he will obviously be able to have his dalliances, but they will be in sort of a loveless, agreed upon marriage. That's sort of what I think. And I think that's true. And I think that her doing that on the wedding day, because they do really love each other. I think that her doing that on the wedding day was sort of a fuck you to what I've agreed upon. Like, I've agreed upon this and you can't be on time when we paid for this venue, you know?
Disrespectful. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. That's a
So,
good theory. I like that theory. That
because
is interesting because 'cause they're
she's in LA, she's posting all the time with the dog and stuff. So, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem to be what Shawn wants.
No.
No.
And I think maybe in his mind, he's like, "Okay, I'll be married to Aaliyah. We'll be together, but I can bang whoever I want, and that's accepted." Because Aaliyah's still finding herself, and maybe Aaliyah is not interested sexually in him because maybe Aaliyah is like, "Hey, I'm gonna be interested in younger guys now that I'm a younger woman." Like, I don't know. It's very, very, very complicated. It's very complicated
I'm interested to
because
see next week
yeah,
the
same.
conversation that they
Because
have.
because we come back to the beginning of episode 1.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why I wanna see the entirety of that conversation. Like, maybe some of that will be revealed. I don't know.
It's very layered, this situation with them, very layered.
It seems to be. But it does seem like a big thing for him to, out of the goodness of his heart, Shawn pay for all of this for Alliya.
Yeah, because I think genuinely he loves her.
He loves
Yeah.
her. Yeah. Mm.
We're gonna end with our throuple, not
No.
Kimberly, Katie, Mary, Payne, but this throuple, which is Matt, Amani, and Ani. And we start with these running through a field. They're at the Tequila Tres Mujeres, which I, with my broken Spanish, can assume is 3 women tequila.
Okay.
And it's their last day together. We get a photo of all 3 of them on the swing, and then Ani and Amana smooching on the swing. La. Anyway, they look at the tequila barrels, and then they go through this old church that's there on the property because nothing says tequila like a church. So
Sure.
they talk about it's so amazing because now they're all getting married. They can have 3 weddings. They can have a Mexican wedding, an American wedding, a Tunisian wedding because she's from Tunisia, and all Amani is interested in is putting on a dress and being in a wedding. And so we see a photo of Matt and Amani's Las Vegas wedding, which is all they could afford at the time. They had $100. They went to Vegas. Wow. Sometimes when they show the flashbacks of these people, wow, Amani, wow. Just 10 years ago, you look like a totally different person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I immediately looked up, Shekinah because I was like, "What's her before face?" I'm just
Oh,
curious.
Shekinah's is all over the place. It's because she's been on a lot of reality shows, Shekinah.
Yeah, but from where she started, this is not the this is a different person.
Shekinah is completely different. Amani is not completely different.
Not completely,
Yeah.
right.
You could
Shekinah is a whole different person.
you would never know those are the same people ever. So, Amani is like, "Well, this is my second chance to be a bride because I'm just still that little girl who dreams of a wedding." Come on now.
Uh,
So, Matt, who's always smiling because he's so uncomfortable and also this is fake, says to Ani, "What me and a mini," so he's the only person that calls her a mini because she calls herself Amani and Ani calls her Amani and she calls herself Amani, but he calls her a mini. So he says, "What me and a mini have built means a lot to us, like with Ray, and then finding out your real name, and then hiding us from your family. So all of that's been a lot, but through all of it, I've seen some growth in you, and I think you're perfect for us."
Stop it.
Stupid.
Obviously not.
So fake, so stupid.
What are you
So
talking about?
Ani goes, "So what is the next step?" And Amani goes, "We have to figure out the legalities. We have to figure out who marries who." And Ani goes, "I know I can only be married with one." And Amani says, "Whoever you pick, I'll be happy with the outcome, but I want
Liar.
you to marry me."
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, I'd like, since you're new to this, tell me your thoughts on Amani, just as a whole.
If it's real, if it's not fake, you
If what
mean.
we're seeing is real, yes.
If what we're seeing is real, Amani just wants to be with Ani, but needs Matt for some reason. But Amani also just likes attention. So if being in a throuple gets her more attention,
Yep.
but Amani likes I'm guessing just likes women, is very into being in a relationship with a woman and needs to explore that part of herself.
Mhm.
I don't know why she's taking it this far that you feel like you need to try to be in a throuple. Why don't you guys just have your open relationship
Mhm.
and fulfill this desire that you have outside your marriage or whatever? Matt seems totally fine with it. Why are you doing this so officially? This
Right.
is ridiculous unless you want to be on TV and want attention. That is why it feels very fake. I think that you do want these things, but also, boy, you're not cut out to be in a throuple.
Mm-mm.
Somebody needs to tell her that she's not it's not just that Ani's difficult. It's that you're not cut out to be it is a very specific personality that can do this kind of thing. You're
Yeah.
just way too jealous.
No, she's way too jealous.
No.
So in the talking head, Amani says, "I've always wanted to live my bisexual dream and
Right.
marry a female."
Uh,
Well, that's not a bisexual dream. That's a
that
lesbian dream, or it's I'm gay. I want to marry a female dream. This is not a bisexual dream of I'm going to marry Matt and then divorce him and then marry Ani and then we'll all live happily ever after. I mean, I guess it could be.
It feels like Amani needs to go out and find herself a woman to be in
Mhm.
a relationship with, and then bring Matt in as the 3rd. This is all wrong, how you've done this.
You're
This
right.
is not
Matt is the 3rd, not
Matt
Ani.
is the 3rd,
Yeah,
right. Or whoever the male might be, Matt or whomever. I don't know, Matt.
poor Matt.
I have a lot of questions for Matt.
Poor Matt. Poor Matt.
Number 1, how
So
dare okay.
so Ani says, "My decision is, the person is, what I want to do, what I think I will do.
Oh my god.
My person, I think." I was like, "Okay, it is you." And Matt goes, "Me?" 'Cause,
I was
Matt's the one that sits on the side of the bed and cries, like, Matt's not involved, and,
listen,
he
I was secretly delighted when she
me too,
picked Matt.
me too,
I was like,
me too.
"Yeah, that's the wise choice in this,
He goes,
actually."
"Me?" And, she goes, "I understand that, this will be hard, but I think we need one man to protect our family, to protect us, so I should be married with Matt." And Matt goes, "I think somebody just asked me to marry them. Can you did you okay, what?"
He's so jazzed.
Amani goes, "Yeah, wow, that's great." And she's pissed. And in the talking head, she was like, "You know what? I'm sad, and, this was a question that I knew had to be answered, but now I wish I didn't know, and I've worked twice as hard as Matt at this relationship, and, I said I would accept whatever decision, but, I just keep thinking, 'Why didn't you pick me?'" It's okay. Okay, which is wonderful. So they go back to the hotel, and, the talking head, Amana goes, "You know what? I'm just dealing with a stab in the heart, and I'm trying not to react, and I have to show that I'm gonna support these decisions no matter what."
No,
And,
no.
so he's saying in this talking head together, he goes, "Hey, babe," it's like, "It's just for the paperwork, okay?" So yeah, I know. So they get in it's a random, like, hot tub that's in a bedroom or on a porch or something. It's very strange, and they just go and put their feet in. I was like, "What's happening?" And they have drinks, they do, like, toast to change, and then Amani comes in and out and brings cake and whatever, and then they have the wet feet, and they're gonna fall, and so they go into the den, and Amani goes, "Oh, here's a cake for the bride and groom," but I'm not mad about it. So Ani goes, "Look, there's a lot of things we have to think about. We have to think about the lawyers and the papers." And then she says to Amani, "Are you upset for my decision?" And Ani goes, "You know what? It's like when you take an exam, you study really hard, then you get a B. And so, yeah, it's rough because I felt like I got an A, but I got a B. And I feel so much love for you. And I've showed you and I've told you so many times. And um, fine. Yeah, it's fine." And so Ani goes, "Listen, I've presented you to my family, like, you have to know that I'm very serious about us, but honestly, I feel a lot of stress about you because you want to stay boss and be in
Fair,
control,
fair,
and
all fair.
Matt is more equal." So she's like, "I wanna be married to Matt because he treats me as an equal, and you treat me as the person that works for you." You know?
Ooh,
That's what I
that's not
think.
gonna go over good.
But don't you think? Like, she
Totally
literally treats
accurate.
Ani like, "You're here to bang me. That's
Yeah,
it."
kind of. It's
Yeah.
really weird. It's really weird, and
It's like a
of
w
the 2, what you
it's a little white savior complex of, "We're gonna save this girl who's a stripper on the," you know?
little bit, but it's also, Matt seems more stable, I think is what I'm
Yes.
really trying to say.
Yes.
Seems the more stable of the 2. This is
So she goes,
Amani's been yelling at her. I don't know, the whole thing Amani insisted all of this stuff with the family and that you have to be forthright about being with us as a couple. I mean, my God, the
yeah.
demands. You were all
You
coming.
can't say he's your boyfriend, you have to say, "I'm your girlfriend," like, she was yes, you're
Yeah,
right.
I wouldn't marry you either. And
Yeah.
also, obviously, with paperwork and stuff like that, it's going to be much easier for for her to marry Matt than a
Yeah.
same-sex couple. We don't know where Mexico is with that. I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
But I'm
Right.
saying on the list of hard, what are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah. I agree. So the talking head, she goes, Ani says, "It's complicated, but, Matt is more calm and rational. Amani is like explosion.
There you go.
He likes drama,
There
And
you go.
I don't know if one day she could kick me out of the house. And then what do I do with me and my daughter? She has 2 other kids she never mentions. But
That's right,
yeah.
that is true.
Mhm. And
'Cause
that's a
they're
great
grown?
point. That's a great no, one's
Oh.
22, one's like 10, and the 10-year-old doesn't live with her, and then the one she refers to, the daughter, is like 7 and lives with her.
Ooh.
3 dads. But anyway, but her point is very valid, is like, if I marry Amani and she gets mad at me about something or gets jealous about something, she's
Mhm.
so explosive, she'll kick me out of the house, whereas Matt wouldn't do that.
That is totally correct. You
Yeah.
have more safety marrying Matt,
Yeah.
because if the paper is with Matt, Matt could be like, "No, hold on, let's think about this." It's
Yeah.
she's not. She's right.
She's right. Yeah.
Yeah, she's
And
right.
so Amani says to Matt, "What do you think, love? Am I controlling? Shh, must be pretty bad to be married to, huh?" And he goes, "No, no, 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 no. Let's talk this through. I want the 2 of you to understand that if we're going to do this, I cannot feel divided. I have to feel that I'm married to the both of you. I love both of you." And then they all hold hands. And the talking head, Amani, cries and goes, "I mean, why not me? I mean, maybe I shouldn't have pushed so hard for meeting the
Yep,
family. Maybe I
yep.
shouldn't have pushed so hard. And if I did that, maybe she would have chosen me. But I mean, maybe she loves him more because he's a man. And then one day she'll say, I don't want to be with a woman. And then I'll just be kicked out of the picture. And I just blew my whole life upside down." And I think that's a valid thought as well. But I think in any throuple, that's going to be a valid thought of what if the
Mhm.
2 of them in any scenario, 3 guys, 2 women, 3 whatever, anybody in a throuple or a quad or whatever, you have to think, wow, one day they could decide. You have to be super, super confident with your boundaries and your ground
Uh-huh.
rules to not feel like one day I'm going to be kicked out.
And if there's anything that this trip showed, is that you have 0 confidence in this relationship and this person. So
Right.
don't do this. Also, again, Amani is not built for this.
No.
Just not.
Match just go along, get along. Hey, I
Matt
don't
is
care.
maybe built for this with a
Uh,
different set
yeah.
of people, but no.
Mm-mm. It's
No, no, no,
wild.
no, no. This is way too volatile. Way, way too much. This was what has Kimberly thought of this throuple?
Oh, well, we just go through them like they don't even we're just like fake, 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 fake. We just go through the whole thing. Yeah. We do agree that the 2 women want to be together and they just leave Matt out of the picture, like he's not even there. A lot of times they do.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
Ani has made the right decision to go with Matt because she sees him. I do think if we're to believe what we're told that Amani does make all the money. I think she is the
Mm,
breadwinner.
yeah.
Um, but Ani chose stability over cash. Yeah. It's fascinating. And also, you're right. As far as like trying to get a K-1 visa and all that,
Yep.
with whatever happens in Mexico and all that, like you may as well just go with the safer choice.
Wasn't that a big deal with the other couple that we like? Kenny and I'm forgetting his name.
Armando?
Armando.
Mhm. It
Wasn't the fact
was.
that they were a same-sex couple a difficulty in their getting the
Because
visa?
Kenny moved there, and because Armando at that time had his visa, canceled or whatever happens when like, if you come to the US and you overstay your visa, like, 2 days and they'll say you can't come back for 5 years or whatever.
Right,
That had
mhm,
happened to Armando at the time, so he couldn't even come to the US. Plus his
mhm,
daughter was there, and it made more sense, but now, like, he still can't come to the US. I don't know what's happened, but he still hasn't been to the US. Um, but
wild.
I remember when they went and they got they were trying to get their marriage certificate and stuff. They were like, "It's very
Worried.
hard. It's
Yeah,
very hard." Yeah. And they
mhm.
went to a whole 'nother town where it was more accepted to where they wanted to have their wedding. Next week on, we see some snippets of Juan and Jessica's wedding. Juan is working on his vows or not. He's procrastinating. Mark and Mina's wedding. Jordan says something nice, but then she's like, but of course they're not allowed to have more kids. Jordan, you don't get to choose when Mina has children. And Mina says, I'm pregnant, which we think is a Matt Sharp fake out. I'm sure it's a
Mm,
joke.
okay.
Stevie and Maddie are getting married. Is the dress too tight? Does it break? Does the zipper break? Is it a fake out? Unclear.
Yeah.
Sarper says the next time I, no, she kind of says, next time I see Sarper, I'll be walking down the aisle. Is the aisle from the hallway of the hotel to the bed? What's the aisle?
I think it's from the bathroom and then the little hall between the bathroom and where the bed, right?
It has to be. Where
That's
you
the
co
aisle.
What's the aisle?
And she's just in a nightie? She's just in lingerie, right?
Right, because it's a bedding. Now we see Amani yelling at Ani and saying, "You control men. It's your job left and right with your little dances, but I don't get controlled. I see through your bullshit." And Matt is like trying to stop her. And the talking head, he goes, "I don't have any idea what's going on anymore." And Ani goes, "You're crazy, lady." And Amani's like, "You're crazy." Whatever.
Ani, get out of there. Just get
Shawn Shawn tells Alliya, "I was sitting there, no bride, for 2 hours. You took all the joy out of the wedding for me, all of it. And
Mhm.
I'm starting to think maybe I should push you away to save myself."
Oof.
And talking head Alliya says, "I should be happy with my fairy tale, and I'm in this country with nobody, and this was not the way I saw my dream. It's all different." Now, I will tell you something very interesting, Katie.
Yeah.
Next week will be on 90 Day Fiance, the 90th wedding of 90 Day Fiance.
Who is it?
I don't know. I just got a PR thing that said on the 15th next week, the 90 Day Fiance wedding, we will have the 90th wedding. And so let's look and see. Okay. So
Stevie. Make it Stevie.
I'd love it for it to be Steedy.
Don't make it
Stevie.
Shekinah. Don't make it Shekinah. That's gonna just
We've
that's
Greg and Joan are already married. I don't think Mark and Mina have a pull big enough of a punch. Shawn and Alliya are already married, and it can't be the throuple. So it's either gonna be Juan and Jessica or Stevi and Mahdi will be our 90th couple. Isn't that wild? So, yeah, they sent a press thing and was like, "Think about all your favorite weddings over the years." I was like, "Ooh, do you have a list?" And they're like, "LOL, no, do that work yourself." Um, but yeah, it
mm.
has to be Juan and Jessica or I hope it's Stevie and Maddie because I love them so much.
Let it be Stevie and Maddie, because Juan and Jessica, I'm concerned about. I don't know how they're gonna do.
Well, he did have to go off the Carnival cruise ship and move to Poop Town, so yeah.
And now he can't go back to the Carnival cruise ship.
No, my you don't know this because you have not been covering the show with me. My cousin, bleh, 3 glasses of wine. My nephew has lived in Torrington for a long time.
Really?
He doesn't live there anymore. He's a cowboy. He's in the cow business. He is a cowboy, and that's where his cows were. So he lived there for for at least a year or 2.
Does it
Yeah.
smell, the town?
He wouldn't notice it because he's a cowboy, so
You wouldn't notice that.
he
No,
wouldn't notice
sorry.
it. But he said it's a cute little town, you know? Yeah.
But
And
it's not a Carnival cruise.
Kimberly and I tried to come up with you would be better at this. Kimberly and I tried to come up with Jessica and her crazy friend Megan are both, therapists, and they're in a therapy practice together, and so we were
Mhm.
like, "What in Torrington would deem them to have a therapy practice with more than one therapist?" There's like 5 of them in the practice, and then we tried to think because Jessica loves word art so much, what word art does she have in her office for her patients to be like, "Hey, cowboy, hang up your spurs and let your brain rest," because it'd have to be something about, like, going to therapy, but you're a cowboy and you gotta be cool. What would it be? She's thinking, guys, she's thinking.
I'll get
Katie's
back
so
to
good at
you
this.
next week on this.
Katie's so good at this kinda thing.
She definitely has a breathe one somewhere in there, maybe, like, over the
Mm,
door, over the
mhm,
clock. There's
mhm.
definitely a breathe ellipses, breathe dot dot dot. But
Do you
then
think
there
over her office door, there's a sign that says office? Mhm. Everything must be labeled.
bless this house, crossed out office, very cute,
That's
written
good.
in
That's good.
cursive. So
Yeah,
the
that's
house
good.
is crossed out and office is in squirrely cursive.
Mhm. Mhm, mhm. That's good.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of office word art, but we thought it would be themed towards
it is gonna be
cowboys.
cowboy, yeah, it'll be themed towards cowboys.
When you're here, you hang up your hat,
Yeah.
leave your spurs at the door, like that kinda thing. Yeah, yeah. We at the time, we talked about, like, Katie would probably be better with coming up with this. Yeah. These are
I'm thinking
things we
about
talk
something
about.
about locking horns. Yeah, I'll let me get in there. I'll get in there.
Okay, okay.
I'll come up with a couple alternatives. Okay, cowboy word art.
Oh,
Yeah, this is good.
okay.
great.
Okay, that's
Also,
good.
I've probably seen some.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm in the South.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I might
Yeah.
get different word art than other people's
You might.
experiences.
Your Cracker Barrel might your Home Goods might have different.
I like that he called her on it the minute he walked in and was like, "It's a lot. This is a lot of words."
He's like, "I already know how to speak English. I don't need to be taught with the things on your wall because I already speak. All this word art should be in Spanish for David." Um,
Ah.
you guys, Katie and Kimberly have a podcast. It's called A Date with Dateline. They cover, you guessed it, Dateline. Generally, they cover the Friday Dateline, but this past week they covered Sunday just to keep us on our toes.
Mhm.
And sometimes they announce it and sometimes they don't. And generally, I don't even care. I just listen to it because I find the two of you soothing, and not because you're my friends, because I just find your storytelling and your banter
Oh,
and your friendship to be resting to my soul. So if I have to take a nap, if I have to go on a road trip, if I have to go on a walk, anything I do, I put in a date with Dateline because the story is always going to be good because it's on Dateline, so it's going to be great.
yeah, it's gonna be Dateline. Yeah, that's
Have you
for sure.
come up
I
with a
know
name for Blaine yet? We've come up with Blaneiacs,
Brainiacs.
but
No,
nothing Manky with
it's
the
gonna take
hanky.
time. It's gonna take time. It's gonna I don't wanna force it either because we tend to not go back once it's set. There've been a few that I won't say which ones I'm not extremely happy with, but
Mm,
there's a few that I'm grumpy about, and so, I want to make sure that we get Blaine just right because Blaine's a really good addition. We got
she's really
really
great.
lucky. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Sir Manky with the hanky.
Mhm.
Keith Morrison is your
So,
lean king because
the
he
Lean
leans.
King. Then we have Queen Andrea, and then
Yeah,
we
I think we could do better for Andrea.
I
I
think so
think
too, and so
mhm,
I'm always frustrated that that's where and then Dennis is enough, and I'm happy with Dennis. So really, it's just
yeah,
Andrea's that I'm sad about 'cause she's also another woman, and I want hers to be very good. So I don't wanna make the same mistake with Blaine. Andrea
yeah,
is a queen, but she's much more than that. So
yeah. Blaneiacs is pretty amazing.
Blaniacs is really good, and it might just be that
Yeah,
until Blaine has a thing, but Blaine and the Blaniacs is really fun. I mean, I'm
it's
fine
really
with
good.
yeah,
Mhm.
I love that. Did you come
She's a
up with
great
that?
no.
Mm.
Are you kidding me? I can't come up with anything. No, I've asked you many times. I will send randomly, like on a Wednesday for no reason. I'll send Katie a text. Go ponder on this. It's sort of like with Jessica with the word art in her office. Like it's, I just need you to workshop it,
Just
and she will because she's
I
got that skill.
I like to do I do like to do it, but I do like cowboy word art specifically is gonna be really good, and Jessica's very I don't know. I don't know if I would assume that she would have as much word art as she does, to be honest. If they didn't tell us right away,
It
I
was
may not
shocking.
have assumed it.
It was shocking. It's still shocking.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's quite a bit. I
It's
would think
still shocking.
Shekinah might have more, honestly.
Mm.
It's
Yeah,
something cheesy a little bit. Like there's
yeah.
something there's a normal amount of word art, and then there's what Jessica has going on, which is I'm gonna buy one every time I go to an antique mall. Every time.
I just every time I'm in a Home Goods or a TJ Maxx or a Marshalls, I hit up that end cap where it's 50% off. And you know what? This one has the map of the United States. I've already got that, but you can always add one more. Yeah.
How many maps of the United States do you have?
She has several. I have none. She has several. She has several.
She had maps up there?
But they're word art maps. So it's like on a piece of wood, but it's a map on the wood. And she's
Oh, I
got
get
one
it.
of like
So
the
it's like
world, and then she's got one.
glory.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, alright.
Yeah. And then it's like America. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it says that, but it's a lot. It's a lot. And you had to do a lot of watching in the last 2 days, so you didn't get a chance to really focus in on it.
But I did I mean, I was highly aware I missed oh, yeah, never mind. I did see some Americana ones. Okay,
They're
nope.
gonna be asking her about it at the reunion, and I can't wait.
They better also have stills of every single one, and they better have counted and give her a word tally so that she can see her reflection reflected back to her and she understands what she's done here. And she can be like, "Oh, I have 23?" Like, she needs to be confronted with the number and then
Y
asked. And then
it's a one-bedroom home.
right.
The children are in the bedroom
They need to
with a
move
and then she and Juan
tomorrow.
are in the basement.
They need to
But
move immediately.
I know, but, maybe they can't afford it. I don't know. But they did take the kids over to the dad's house, and he
Yeah.
had a pretty big, nice house. I didn't like that.
That's true. I shouldn't be rude. I don't know their situation.
Yeah.
All right. I have a lot. All right. Well, yeah. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I'll be back with you next week. I can fill you in on cowboy word
Okay.
art, and then
Okay.
we can see what's going on with Jessica and Juan's wedding. Are they going to
Okay.
get married? They're going to get married.
They're
They
gonna
always
get
get
married.
married.
They
They
always
always
get
get
married.
married.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What are they gonna
that's
do at this point? He's gonna go back to the boat? No. Everybody follow Kimberly and Katie at Dateline. You can find their podcast wherever you get podcasts. Same with
yeah.
me at Pink Shade Pod, wherever you get your podcasts. Obviously, you're listening here. And the best thing you can do for any podcast that is free is you just go on Apple and you click 5-star, Spotify too. Apple, for some reason, it means more. If you can do it, just click the little 5-star, say 3 nice things. Very funny. Love these gals, whatever. And then it will help our algorithms. And I think I did pretty damn good for having 3 glasses of wine.
Flawless, seamless, perfection. Thank you so much for having me.
What does it say about me? I don't know. But maybe I'll talk to you next week. Maybe I won't, but it's great to see your cute face.
Oh, thank you. It's wine time. It's going to be some sort of wine pun.
It's
Wine
here.
and cheese.
It's here, but I never drank it the whole time. Look at
Oh,
me.
wow, that's good. You need a sign for it, though. I'll be on the lookout. I'm gonna get
Good. Okay,
it.
bye.
Bye.